Good evening, everybody. So today is so next we have one more class before the new year. So as usual, before we start the Lamrim class, everybody should think why I attend the Lamrim class, why I study the Lamrim class, why I need a Dharma. Every time before you start the class, before you practice Dharma, you should ask this question: why I need to practice Dharma? Why Dharma is important? If I don't practice Dharma, what will happen for me in this life and next life? So for example, we just recite, I go refuge to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha until I'm enlightened. So before we fully believe in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, we need to know what does mean Buddha, what does mean Dharma, what does mean Sangha. In order to know the three jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, we need to know the Four Noble Truths. When we, precisely study our Four Noble Truths, then we're going to understand why we have sufferings, where all the sufferings arise from. That's mean practice of, truth of suffering and origin of suffering. After you recognize, I have physical sufferings, mental sufferings, all of them arise through causes and condition, not arising causeless, not arising with the contradiction cause. Then second, will I able to eliminate the cause of suffering or not? In order to know the cause of suffering, be eliminated, then you need to know the opposite of the ignorance, which is, wisdom, knowing the emptiness. Once you know the emptiness of all phenomena, then you're going to know the ignorance is a mistaken mind. Due to ignorance, we have a lot of misperception thoughts. For example, ignorance, then attachment. Due to attachment, they are, hatred, anger, jealous. All thoughts arise based on ignorance, attachment. Those are the cause. Those are not only cause, those are cause as well. Those are perception thoughts. So before you knowing anything about ignorance, nature of the ignorance, all the negative thoughts arising from ignorance, then you're not going to understand, the truth of the suffering. So once you understand emptiness, then you need to know, if I practice emptiness, if I meditate on emptiness for, as much as you can, then you can see the ignorance going to dispel, going to reduce, going to minimize. Then finally you can see, yes, if I practice continuously emptiness, bodhicitta, impermanence, then finally you can see I will be, becoming arhat. Then you go understand, yes, there's a Sangha. Then if you understand there's a Sangha, then you're going to understand Dharma. Once you understand Dharma, then you're going to understand Buddha. So before we fully believe in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, we must know, the meaning of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. As well, we must know how we take refuge into Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. We should not think, the Buddha is look like a god. You should not think Buddha is a very powerful human being. He can, control everything. He can control, my sufferings. He can give my happiness. No, it's totally wrong misunderstanding about Buddha, misperception about Buddha. Buddha was, according to Theravada tradition, they say Buddha was. According to Mahayana tradition, we say Buddha is. Buddha is, just, fully enlightened being who has all the knowledge how we can eliminate ignorance, how we can realize emptiness, how we can have a happy life, how we can have a lasting happy life. So Buddha is, complete. Buddha is a human, a being. You can say human or being, doesn't matter. We can say Buddha is a being, who has complete knowledge how to be free from suffering, how to have a lasting happiness, how to reduce all the negative thoughts. And Dharma is the, methods or means how to achieve Buddhahood, how to achieve liberation. So between this life, between us and liberation, between us and Buddhahood is very far. It is a long or distance. Look like, for us, impossible achieve Buddhahood, Nirvana. Because it doesn't mean the Buddhahood, enlightenment is not achievable. It's achievable, but for us, look like, impossible to achieve liberation because we don't understand the Dharma. Once you be understood, we don't practice. When we practice, we not practice seriously. Even though we practice seriously, not practice continuously, then how we can achieve liberation and Buddhahood. But still, before we reaching the Buddhahood and enlightenment, we must need happy life, right? We must need a happy life. Everybody, the people who believe in Dharma, the people who don't believe in Dharma, the people who criticize or reject Dharma or religion, everybody still, looking, wishing to achieve happiness. So the happiness, before you become Buddha or before we fully, free from suffering, we must need a happy life. The happy life we can have only, knowing the truth. Meditate on the truth. Reduce, little by little, bit by bit, all the negative thoughts. Then we can have a happy life. So when we talk about happy, look at sometime when you achieve something, you feel happy. There's a happiness. The happiness lasts for short time, then will disappear. After disappear, then you will have a lot of sufferings. For example, you are very, you are waiting for a long time to see your dear one, your dear parents, your dear relatives, your dear friend, your dear boyfriend, girlfriend. You have a really strong, motivation to see, him or her for a long time. So when you meet the person, you feel so happy, you feel so, blissful. That kind of happiness will last for a short time. When the separation comes, then again you are in the miserable states. There's another happiness, when at the beginning, when you achieve the happiness, you feel happy about it. You really sacrifice the happiness. Then happiness can last for long time or last for forever. It depends on you. For example, you are totally suffered with your neighbors, your enemy, your disliked person. So if you keep recall the bad people, the bad neighbors, the bad society, so you will always be unhappy. You are not happy at all. So then you change your mentality about the neighbors, friends or relatives. You change the mentality, instead of having anger or hatred, why not you just have a more compassion, more love, more care. When you change your mentality, suddenly you feel, you are happy, your mind is more calm than before. This kind of happiness can last for a short time, can last for forever. It depends on your practice. If you practice, the compassion, tolerance continuously, then the happiness can last for forever. If you practice the compassion, kindness, tolerance for a short moment, for a few days or few years or few months, that happiness also, lasts for a few months or few years, not forever. So we are, as a Buddhist, we have a, kind of two achievements. One short-term, achievement. One is the long-term. So before we reach to the long-term achievement, we must achieve the short-term, which is happy life of this life, happy life of our next life. So what does mean happy? So happy mean even though physically you are healthy, physically you don't have any problems, you don't have any kind of samsaric problems. That means you have a good job, you have a good house, your friends, relatives, everybody is nice for you. But still you must know, the negative thoughts is always with you. That means you can be happy sometime, you can be suffering sometime, you cannot be happy forever. So that's why, we practice the Dharma continuously, every day, every moment. So Dharma must be with you every time, every moment. You don't have to bring the Lamrim text with you. You don't have to bring the Dharma books with you. But the positive mental attitudes always with you. Wherever you go, you must have all the positive mental attitudes. You should not have, all the negative attitudes. Once you feel it, you can feel it, you can notice, the negative thoughts is arising. You just, use the knowledge, use the methods and means which is you learn from Dharma books, you learn from Lamrim, you learn from, master and gurus. Then you won't have really, emotional problems or mental problems, problem with the negative thoughts, because you're using the right methods to reduce all of them. That means, we will say, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. First, we must recognize what does mean Buddha, Dharma. Also, we must know how I take refuge. That means you fully believe, truly believe Buddha is a complete, like enlightened being. He's a very experienced, knowledgeable teacher. So Buddha is the only one who really, teach us Dharma, who can teach us how to be free from suffering. So when you say I take refuge into Buddha, you must think, yes, Buddha is the only one who guide me how to be free from suffering, how to achieve happiness. The second, when you say, I take refuge into Dharma, you should think the Dharma is like a medicine. All the negative thoughts, all the emotional problems is like a sickness and disease. The sickness can be cured, completely cured when you take medicine. If you take the medicine for, first just few times, it can reduce the sickness but cannot cure, rootly, cannot cure from the root. So same time, when you practice Dharma, sometime you can reduce the negative thoughts, but it cannot, eliminate from the root. So Dharma is the, only methods, only means to eliminate the root of the suffering and suffering. So when you say I take refuge into Dharma, you should, truly believe Dharma is the only one which is, I can achieve Buddhahood, which is I can achieve Nirvana, which is it can reduce all the negative thoughts. Then Sangha, when you say I take refuge into Sangha, you should think I will follow after the Sangha who have all the experience and knowledge how to practice Dharma. Right? Then look at, I take refuge into Buddha, Dharma, Sangha for how long? 1 day, 2 months, 1 year? No. Until I am enlightened. Now this question, how long it will take? The answer cannot give anybody. Even the Buddha cannot give the answer. You must give answer yourself. How long? Right? If somebody asks you, how long it will take to achieve Buddhahood? Somebody asks you a question, what is your answer? I don't know. You should know, I don't know. You say it will take long time because I am very lazy person. You should know, I don't know. There's an example in Tibet, one person is passing through village. So he didn't know how far from this village to next village. So he asked the villager people, how long it will take me to reach to next village? The village people didn't answer. Do you know why? He didn't answer. Why? Huh? They don't know who he is. Okay, similar. He didn't answer. Then the person who asked question, he get angry. So when we get angry, how we walk? Slowly or fast? Fast. The person get angry, he walk very fast. And he say, hey, come back. If you walk this kind of, fast, you will reach this village this time. Then how I can say you can reach this time? Because I don't know you are what you call speed. Right? If somebody asks you how long you will take to become a Buddha, you should know, I don't know. You should say, for me takes many years. For me takes few years. Because you know your speed, how you are fast to achieve Buddhahood. Then until enlightened, until I become enlightened. So it depends on you. Look at historically. So there's a few persons who achieve Buddhahood within one lifetime. In India, in Tibet, in China or Thailand, very few. We have a number. We have a number of people who really achieve Buddhahood within one lifetime. So they put, follow the right teaching, follow the right master, put, enough effort. Then they achieve Buddhahood within one lifetime. You can achieve Buddhahood within one lifetime, maybe, few lifetimes, few millions. Somehow we have to achieve, liberation, Buddha. Otherwise, we will be suffer forever. Take refuge into Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha until I am enlightened, until I become a Buddha. Then you are not saying, I wish to become a Buddha. Just simple, if you say, I want to become a Buddha, you don't have any qualification, you don't have any experience, you don't have nothing. Suddenly you go around Singapore, you say, I want to be Prime Minister of Singapore. Everybody laugh you, right? How you can? You don't have any experience, any qualification, no knowledge. How you can become Prime Minister? How you can say I become a Buddha? Because you don't have anything. Then second, look at next sentence. What? Until I become enlightened, do my merit, right? Merit or practice of giving, so forth. Then look at achievement. First you become Sangha, you must have a Dharma, then you become a Buddha. How? Through practice of generosity, giving, and so forth. Those are the condition, methods to how you achieve Buddhahood. So everybody just think So becoming Buddha is my destination. Practice of six pranayana paramitas, emptiness, and great compassion, bodhicitta, are the means or methods to become a Buddha, become a Arhat. And also, most time you see, it always mention six paramitas or six pranaya paramita. It doesn't mention much, great compassion, bodhicitta, because all of them include into six pranayana paramita. Okay, so study Dharma is very important. Now we're going to study, so before we study Dharma, before we, practice Dharma, before we listen the Dharma, we must know what is the benefit of Dharma. What kind of kinds of benefit you can get through practice of Dharma. Without knowing, having benefit from Dharma, if you just say, I want to practice Dharma, I want to attend Lamrim class, I want to study Dharma, it's just you simply saying, you're not really serious about studying Dharma. That was why. Therefore, you must know what is the benefit of Dharma. What kind of benefit I can have if I follow Dharma. What kind of loss I can have if I don't practice of Dharma. Then I said, I'm not saying practice of Dharma because you're going to accumulate merit. No. Practice Dharma, study Dharma, then you know the truth. You eliminate the ignorance. It can benefit you a lot of benefit, but the great benefit it bring you to all the way to Buddhahood or enlightenment. Becoming Buddha, achieving enlightenment, you should not think I have to go to somewhere, right? Right? Should not think this way. So we everybody follow Buddha Shakyamuni. He achieved Buddhahood where? Where? India. And Bodh Gaya, under the Buddha tree. He didn't go anywhere. He just stayed under the Buddha tree, meditate on emptiness, great compassion for many, many years. Finally, seriously 6 years. So he became Buddha in India under the Buddha tree. He never go anywhere. Also, you should think, I can achieve Buddhahood in Singapore, in my home. I don't have to go, in the forest or in jungle. You should not think I can achieve. And also, many people, never consider how to be happy in this life. How I can happy with my friends, my family. How I can happy, myself. Be happy myself. Always thinking Buddhahood, enlightenment, nirvana. You thinking very big things. You never think how I can be happy myself, how I can be happy with my friends, my relatives, my co-worker. Those are very important. This is very necessary in your day-to-day life. Also, many Singaporeans has a strong belief to born in pure land. The next time Geshe-la, to them, I'm going to give a teaching why we need to take a rebirth, why we need to reborn in the pure land. Also, the same idea, so born in pure land, it doesn't mean you have to go somewhere. Before you really go into pure land, first you make a pure land where you live. Where you live with the friends or family, if the place is very happy place, with a harmonious, peaceful place, that means the place already become pure, right? You are talking about pure land, becoming going to see Amitabha Buddha, but at the moment, the place where you live, there's a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of destruction. There's no any harmonious, there's no any peaceful. Then why you keep thinking about going to in a pure land? So that's why we must know how to practice, how to believe in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, how to practice. And also, many people have a misunderstanding about practice of Dharma. So, any text you read, also Lamrim mentioned in the, I think, Wisdom chapter, the most time you do a lot of meditation. So when you feel tired, when you feel a bit sleepy, then you should not do meditation. The meditation cannot, you cannot meditate on something because you feel so tired. You have a low energy. Your mind is so sleepy. You cannot do meditation. Then what you need to do? You do the chanting, recitation, prostration, this thing. Then after doing all this activity, you feel a bit more. You feel good rest. Then do again meditation. Also after meditation, between and after and before meditation, in between, you do a lot of analytical meditation about what you did, which meditation you have done. Do a lot of analytical meditation. That's me reciting mantra, reciting, chanting, offering, whatever. All this is not most important one. You must do sometime, not always all the time. Most time you do meditation. So that's why now look at sometime, in the Buddhist society, as a Buddhist people, sometimes bit not right, something wrong. Because nowadays, the religion become culture. Buddhism look like your culture. The Buddhist culture look like Buddhism. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? Buddhism become your culture. Your culture become Buddhism for you. Because, how you dress, how you eat, how you live, how you do the prostration, how to do the making, offering, mandala, for you, this is most important. That means these are the Buddhist culture. Then actually the religion is become, look like your culture. I have to do this, I have to go this, but you cannot see the important one. So that's why I thought I should say this beginning of the Lamrim class. Next, do you remember the three falls? So now we look at, you really need to contemplate benefit of Dharma, loss of the, not practice of Dharma, not, loss of not practice of Dharma. Then finally you go into this Dharma is so important. So then when you think Dharma is so important, then you need to know the three falls, then what? 6 altitudes, right? What are the three falls? Yeah, average. Like first is upside down. Number 2, yeah, I think the impure, right? Number 3, leaking. So are we upside down? Are we upside down, pot? Leaking or not so pure one? I think we are 3 of them. Because when you attend, like a teaching by, Chinese Shifu or Tibetan Rinpoche or any Thai, bhikshu or monks, when you attend teaching, you are in the teaching ground, but your body is there, but your mind is everywhere. Now all of you in TBC, your body in TBC I can see, right? But your mind is not in TBC. Your mind is around doing preparation for Christmas, buying gift for your friends and family. That means you are, we are, still, upside down. We are not listening properly. We are not fully concentrated to the teaching. That means whenever we attend teaching, so you need to stop, okay? You need to close 2 doors. I use 2 doors. door about what you have to do next, future, what you have done in the past. You just forget to those things, fully concentrate the teaching. You should think this moment for 1 hour or 2 hours or few days is just for me listening, teaching. Don't think much about what you have done, what you have to do for future. Then you're able to focus the teaching. Then second, yes, you are not upset down. You're fully up. You fully concentrated to the teaching. So what's the problem if you don't have the proper motivation? Then what will happen? The Dharma cannot benefit to you. That means the pot is average. You can see the teaching of nectar, teaching of water go in. If the vase or the pot is not so clean, then you cannot drink the water, right? If you drink, you can get sick. That means we need the proper thoughts. That means you should have a right motivation, good motivation. Number two, you should not have a misunderstanding when you attend the teaching. Even though you have a good motivation, really great motivation for becoming Buddha to benefit our sentient being. If you have some misunderstanding, then Dharma cannot benefit, right? So for example, when you listen to doctor, but you got kinds of physical problems, serious, then you are listening to doctor. If you don't listen very carefully, the doctor said you should not drink, Coca-Cola. You have a misunderstanding. You should, doctor, you hear, you drink a lot of Coca-Cola. Then it becomes very serious, right? You will have a diabetes. Misunderstanding. You have a misunderstanding. If you don't understand, you not fully understand, you ask, your teacher or guru, or you open books, read precisely until you have a right understanding, a right motivation, a right understanding. Number three, the ligi pot, right? Ligi pot. That means the teaching of nectar from the gurus, from the Buddha come in your mind. But if you really forget, then it cannot benefit, right? So how you can have the right memory, right? Right memory, good memory. How? I told you in the class, right? Everybody has actually good memory, but you don't have a good memory about Dharma. Am I right? For example, when you open your iPad, iPhone, you need to tap password. You need to draw or need to tap password. You remember the password. So when you go online like banking system, you need to remember the name, the username and password. You still can remember, right? You can remember everything with the samsaric things, but you don't remember the Lamrim Dharma, because when you are not really serious about Dharma. If you are really serious about Dharma, you will remember. That's why in the chapter of Passion of Perfection. So there are three passion. One is be sure you have you really believe in Dharma. Then there's mentioned the suffering, how we can accept the suffering. Some suffering arise because of other. You are okay, you are doing right thing. You every day you do the right thing. The people are not happy, right? Oh, you are doing right thing, but your family is not happy about you. Then because that unhappiness come because of other. Sometimes everything is right. The food, the clothes, everything is okay, but still you have a certain kind of the suffering. And also sometimes the suffering you can have because of the karma. sometimes you have a suffering because of the immediate condition, right? So the karma then also mentioned sometimes you have a suffering when you engage in the practice of dharma, right? So you have a good memory for the samsaric things. When you engage in dharma, your memory become very weak. How? You know, for example, there's a lot of numbers, but you don't remember. Why? That means your mind not try to, adopt all the things mentioned in Dharma because you are not interested. You are interested, but no, you are not serious. You are very interested about Dharma, you are very serious about Dharma, but you are not serious about Dharma continuously. That's why you need to have a memory problem about Dharma. So today I teach you a very short exercise how you can increase your memory. Okay? So generally you have to pay a lot of money when you see the doctor. I teach you freely. It's a simple technique, each morning. This is very, important also. I'm not supposed to explain in the publicly because we are, sharing Dharma. We are Dharma, brother and sister. We are study partners. I can share with you. Okay, so I thought it's important. Each morning, after you, take a shower or if you are still busy, you just, clean your mouth. Okay? So does everybody know the shape of the wisdom's sword, right? Sword. Just look at it. It's a shape like this, goes straight. Top of the sword there's a fire. The fire is symbolic of wisdom. Okay. You just, first you do short breathing meditation. Why you have to do the breathing meditation? Now many people has a really great misunderstanding because they thought the breathing meditation is the most important practice. No. It is the practice of meditation. When you do the breathing meditation, first you have to be, you physically very relaxed. Then you breathe in and out very slowly, gently, not breathe too much. No, just breathe gently, normally. First your mind fully follow, breathe in and out. In and out. If you do this, for 21 times, then your mind become more calm or more, clean. It segregates the negative thoughts and positive thoughts. Once your mind become very calm, second, then you do the actual meditation. Right? For example, you want to tell very important news to your friends, your families. You really have a very important news. So your friend is so busy, so busy or so tired. Are you going to tell the important news to the friends? No. Take a rest. Drink some water. Let your friend drink water. Take a rest. Let your friend take a rest. After they have a good rest, then you can tell the news. Important news become very important. So breathing meditation is morely, how to have a calm mind, how to segregate, how to separate the negative thoughts and positive thoughts. It looks like, water in the cup. So if you shake continuously, you cannot see things clearly in the water. You are shaking. Now you shake first, shake then slow. You shake slowly, then you pour on the table. Then the water become very calm. Okay, the breathing meditation is the pre-practice of meditation. Is not the important practice. For example, famous, I think Burmese person Goenka, right? Goenka ji. Actually, he was Indian origin. but he was, I think, Guru in Burma. So he teach, the Vipassana meditation. He always teach, how to focus your breathing meditation. Always focus. He said the mind become very calm. But he never explained when anger arises how to eliminate. But he teach very well when anger arises how to minimize, how to reduce. But he never explained how to cut. Okay, first you do the short breathing meditation. Once your mind become very calm, then, center of your heart or some around your chest, you just visualize moon disk, right? Moon disk. Center of the moon disk, you visualize the sword, wisdom sword in golden color, also very transparent. It's yellow color. In yellow, you can see from here to other side is very transparent, wisdom source with the fire. The fire color, not red, it's just fire color. Okay, make sure you visualize the wisdom source, sword, right? Moon disk is look like the seeds. Center of the seeds, you just visualize the wisdom source in golden color. Top of the source, you visualize the fire. Fire also in fire color, not red color. Then the sword has a handle, right? Handle. The handle just above for example, this is the moon disk. The handle is above, just stick on the moon disk. Above the handle, just above the handle, then you need to visualize the sixth syllable of Manjushri, which is D, not Om Arapasana, D. D is the sixth syllable of Manjushri. So that means, this is the source with the handle. The D you visualize in the center of the sword. Also D also in yellow color in yellow is golden color. Clear? First you need to visualize what? Moon disk. Where you need to visualize the moon disk? In your heart, center of your heart. Above the moon disk, you need to visualize the sword, the wisdom sword. Okay. Maybe like this, huh? I'm not good in arts, huh? Look like this, huh? This is the handle, this is the complete sword. Now, right, this is a fire. Now, most important, I'm going to draw the D. We don't have Tibetan word, the mantra, only the Sanskrit. Yeah. We draw the Sanskrit word. This is, you can take a photo. Photo, the letter, not me, huh? I put this way that you can see one side. Okay, now I put in the center D. Now this side. Right? Haven't finished yet. This is the D. Right? Then, in the center of the heart, you visualize the letter D. Then, the letter must be in the center. It's quite long, until until the top of the sword. Then another important. Now you need to visualize another 6, sword. 6 sword. 6 wisdom sword. Sword, right? Sword. That means one is in the center, middle of the mundis. Then 6 other sword, just go around the mundis. That means, okay, this is a mundis. Then there's a sword. Just, just around the handle, you need to visualize another 6 sword. That means the center, wisdom sword, surrounded by 6 other wisdom swords. Is not in a stand up, is a what do you call? Lay down? Horizontal 6. Clear? Above the 6th sword, you need to visualize another, 6 moon disk. Small 6 moon disk. Okay, this is the center of the sword. There's another, go in 6. Let's say this is, then here you need to visualize another moon disk. Okay, how many moon disks? 6, above the 6 swords. Then Om, A, Ra, Pa, Tsa, Na. 6 letters. D is in the center. Om is in front. Then Om, one is above, one is Om, A, Ra, Pa, Tsa, Na. 6 letters, right? 6 letters above the 6 swords, above the mundis. Clear? Om, A, Ra, Pa, Tsa, Na. No D. D already in the center. Then, between the 6 swords, right? How many is empty? There may be 6 empty. Between the empty space, you need to visualize the 6D. Another 6D in between. In between. Clear? Okay. Center of the heart, visualize moon disk. On the moon disk, you visualize the wisdom source. Very transparent. Color in gold, golden color. Center of the middle of the source, you need to visualize letter D. Then there's another 6 source. It looks like wheel. We call wheel of the source. Then above the 6 source, you need to visualize the 6 moon disk. Above the moon disk, from the in front, Om. Then A, Ra, Pa, Tsa, Na. Then in the middle again, you need to visualize the 6 moon disks. Then D. Okay? Om, D, A, D, Pa, D, Tsa, D, Na, D. When you recite, you need to say D. Om Ara Bhajana D, Om Ara Bhajana D, Om Ara Bhajana D, Om Ara Bhajana D. Right? Then another important, so when you recite the mantra, another sword, wisdom sword, you need to visualize on your tongue. The tip, or what you call the tip, right? The tip towards your heart. The handle is towards out. That means your tongue, the tip of the sword go all the way here. All the way here. Can you visualize? The sword is made of golden, right? One sword here, go all the way here. The tip is here. That means all the way until your tongue. So So this is right important. Then, so I'm not going to do more detailedly. Then when you recite the mantra Om Arabhajana Di, all the letters are, very transparent. The wisdom is very transparent. So while you recite the mantra, lot of lights rays from the source, the Di, Om Arabha wisdom, lot of light, very bright light, more than 100 million, more brightness than the millions of sun. Clear? The light come from where? The Di, the wisdom source, the Om Arabhajana Di, 6 other things. This means your full body is full of light. Then due to the power of light, you need to visualize all your negative thoughts, negative karma, ignorance, the weak memory, everything is, clean. While you recite the mantra. At the same time, when you say Om Arabhajana Di, the source on your tongue, deep, right? Lot of nectar, deep, right? Yeah, drip, lot of nectar from the source on your tongue. Lot of everything dissolve into the center of the wisdom source. Just doing this, you can recite, 300, 400, 500, as much as you can. Then, before you stop, then you need to recite the Di, 108, without, breaking. So you have to recite 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Then easy to, for example, Om Arabhajana Di like this 100 times. Then finally, Om Arabhajana Di, Di. At the same time, when you say Di, you visualize the Di on your tongue dissolve into the center of the Di. Then you need to swallow the water in your mouth without having any sound. Can you try? Can you swallow water without sound? Try. Cannot. Just try. So if you do this kind of practice, and also another important, so now you look like 2%. One, you visualize the wisdom. Second, you yourself, think you are in the, what is this? Kigu, right? Kigu. You are in here. You think you need to visualize yourself where? In the Kigu. That means you look like become 2%, right? When you visualize the wisdom thing, and also you need to visualize here. Then while you recite the mantra, then a lot of lights, energy rays from the letter Di, Om Arabhajana Di, from the wisdom, a lot of lights, and dissolve into you in the letter, dissolve into you. Then eliminate all the ignorance, attachment, desire, negative thoughts, particularly the weak memory. Then increase your wisdom. So every morning you recite Om Arabhajana Di, Om Arabhajana Di. Then finally Om Arabhajana Di. These are, how you can increase your wisdom, practice of Manjushri. Then another simple practice, how to increase your memories. At the beginning you can have a bit difficulties. Okay, you should not count the number. You count the number in your mind, not verbally. Okay, verbally. For example, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way go 10. Okay, everybody just, I click, you just count the number, huh? From 1 to how much? 1 to 10. You should not, count verbally in your mind. You just draw the number 1. Then, no, should not say 3. Just go. Okay, start. Number 10, right? So when I pause, what you do, how do you feel? You just hold the number in your mind. You make sure you memorize the number, right? Now 10. Again, now we go, reverse. 10, right? 10, 9, all the way to 1. Okay. Number 10. What's the number? 5. One. Now we go all the way 20. 20, huh? Same 1, 2, 3, 20. Then 20, 19, go all the way 1. Someday I pause. You just start to, remember the number. Hold the number in your mind. Start from 1. What's the number?
12.
Very good. 12, right? 12. Again, 13. What's the number? Huh? Loss, because your mind is not in TBC. Sometimes, click very fast, that means your mind have to go faster. When I pause, you must memorize. That means your mind is not in TBC. Okay, actually 11. So, then again, you just speak quietly, just go number all the way to 50. 50, then 50, then, okay, count verbally, 50. Then until 1. It's very easy. Now you need to break into 2 parts. 50 divide into 2 watch. 25, 25. Now difficulty parts. 25, 26. 24, 27. 23, 28. That's when you reach number 1, you reach number 50. Then again 51, 49, 2. Just do this exercise. Definitely, if you seriously do this practice, it's nothing to do with the religion. Doing a lot of exercise your mind, you really increase your memory. Also, your mind become more active. Because one, you have to remember the number. Second, at the same time, you need to remember next number, right? So this is I thought beginning of the Lamrim explained, because I feel somebody has not everybody, some people has a memory problem. So this memory chip we cannot buy from market. Right? Okay. Now start the actual class. Sorry, it take long time. Okay.
The mantra, any colors to?
All letters golden color. Golden color, because Manjushri color is golden color, gold color. Okay. Teaching the instructor. Okay, and we finished the 3 falls. Next, the 6 ideas. What is the idea number 1?
Think of yourself as a sick person.
Okay, very important. Relying on the 6 ideas. So everybody think I'm sick, not physically sick. You are, emotionally sick. So you are sick. What kind of sickness do you have? Sickness of ignorance, attachment, anger, desire. Very serious sickness. Not easy to cure, right? It's very serious sickness. Number 2, what's the second idea?
Think of the instructor as a doctor.
Think
Of the instructor
as a doctor. Instructor can be Buddha, instructor can be your guru, So the teaching is you are a sick person, teaching is medicine, the instructor, the Dharma or the Buddha or the teachers look like doctor. Number 3,
think of the instructors as
meditation. That means you really have to believe, I have a sickness of ignorance. I have a sickness of attachment. So what kind of medicine I should have? That means the Dharma is a medicine. So exactly Dharma and medicine is exactly, similar. When you get sick, what kind of medicine you need to take? Antibiotic or painkiller, right? So when you have a kind of strong pain in part of your body, number 1 you will take what? The painkiller, right? Painkiller. You can buy a shop without asking doctor, right? It's okay. It's a immediate methods. That means the breathing meditation is look like taking the painkiller, like exactly same. Second, so even though you take the painkiller, the pain is reduced, still there. So what kind of medicine you need to take? So you got a painful sickness, you took the antibiotic, you took the painkiller, is reduced, still you feel still there. So next, what kind of medicine you need to take? You want to take? The answer should be say, it depends on sickness. You have a headache. If you take the stomach ache medicine, it doesn't work. Number 2, meditation is exactly same. What kind of meditation you should do? What kind of meditation I need? It depends on sickness, right? Yes, you have a headache, you have a stomach problem, you have a joint problem, you have a many kind of problems, sickness. Then what kind of medicine you must take? Number 1, which is very serious, which is very painful, you must cure this one. The second, you can take other medicine to cure other problems. So before you do meditation, before you practice Dharma, okay, you must check what kind of, the emotion or mental sickness is very serious. You check which is very serious. Oh, today I'm not happy because I have an argument with my family or friends. I have a strong argument. That's why I'm not happy. That means that time you are sick because of sickness of anger, sickness of hatred. Right? It's very strong. That moment, if you are doing other meditation, you cannot. Can you? Cannot. Your mind is totally occupied the anger or hatred. First you reduce the hatred and anger, then you can do other meditation. So taking painkiller, antibiotic is exactly doing the breathing meditation. Actual meditation is taking exactly the same as medicine. So medicine you must take according to your sickness. Right, sickness. So we are not talking about that I have the lung problem, I have a headache problem, I have this. No, we are talking about I have emotional problems. It's not easy to cure, right? If you practice Dharma for only 1 hour, only once a day, once a month, it doesn't change anything, because the sickness is very serious, very serious. What you need, you seriously need to take the medicine continuously, every day, continuously. Take the medicine. Only taking medicine is enough? No. You need to eat healthy food. Healthy food. Very important, huh? Because you need to take the medicine, at the same time you must eat healthy food, you must do proper exercise. That means that eating healthy food, doing proper exercises, you look like reciting, the chanting, all the Dharma activities. If you should think only meditation is enough to cure all the problem, no, you cannot. You must do, all the religious activities, all the, recitation, chanting, whatever you do. That means you take medicine, at the same time you eat healthy food. At the same time, you do meditation as well as you do the chanting, recitation. So the chanting, recitation, meditation you do every day continuously, seriously, taking medicine. Then number 4.
Practice as a way to cure your disease.
Your disease. Thinking of, earnest practice as their way to cure your disease. That means when you take the proper medicine, you can cure the sickness. Then when you do the proper Dharma practice, you will cure your emotional or mental problem. What is number 5?
Thinking of Tathagata
Excellent being. Okay. Here we are not saying, Buddha Shakyamuni is the excellent being because we are follower of the Buddha. No. You should not say Buddha is good because I am Buddhist. You should not say, Jesus Christ is no good because I am Buddhist. You should not say Muhammad is no good because we are Buddhist. No. You should say Buddha is good because why Buddha is good? Do you think Buddha Shakyamuni is a good person? Is he good? How do you know? He was born in the 2,600 years ago. We don't know anything about him. How do you know Buddha is really good? Now look at when we say the person is good, right? Oh, the person is very nice, he is very good. We are not talking about physical feature, right? When we say the person is very good, very nice, we are talking about what kind of quality? Mental quality, not the physical quality. Right? Even you can say somebody has a beautiful physical, feature, their mind is very bad. We never say the person is nice, good. We can say the person is look beautiful, but the person is very bad. Buddha, when we say Buddha is good, we need to think about the quality of the Buddha. Quality of the Buddha body, speech and mind. The physical quality is not that important. Most important one, mental qualities. Second is the speak, the teaching or quality. Now you should think how the Buddha teaching is so wonderful. He taught this wonderful teaching because he has the wonderful thoughts. Okay, that's why when you think about Buddha, think about the quality of the Buddha body, speech and mind. For us, most important one, the quality of the teaching. Quality of teaching, right? Teaching. That's why we can say Buddha is excellent because he practiced himself for many, many years. He had all the experience. Then he taught based on his experience. Right now, we have a many master. I'm explaining Lamrim to you. It's not based on my experience, right? I am I am copying from Lama Tsong-kha-pa, right? I'm copying from Buddha Shakyamuni. So, look like I am kind of Xerox machine. Xerox machine, but not made in Japan. That means the Xerox machine is very good. The Xerox machine can copy exactly same as the original. Sometimes you don't understand which is the original, which is one copy. Right? So all the master, all the gurus, whatever they taught based on Buddha teaching. They just learn, they receive all the knowledge and make a copy and give it to you. Right? So that's why Buddha is excellent, because his the mental quality is great. The speech quality is good. That's why Buddha is excellent. Why Buddha have to be excellent? Why have to be excellent? Because we wish to achieve Buddhahood, liberation. If the person is not excellent, he cannot guide us. Right? Simply, when you need to go to Tibet or Nepal or Bhutan, you are really looking the experienced person who have experience about Tibet, Bhutan, Nepal. If the person doesn't have experience, you're not going to pay. Right? We are looking the right guide. So Buddha is the right guide. That's why he is an excellent being. Then, so number 6.
Wish that the teaching will endure for a long time.
It is very important. Wish that the teaching taught by Buddha Shakyamuni. That means all the commentary by Indian masters, 17 Nalendra master, Tibetan master, Chinese master, Thai, Japanese, doesn't matter. All the master who do commentary on Buddha Shakyamuni teaching, right? Teaching, everything, the commentary on the Buddha teaching. Then look at, wish that the teaching will endure for a long time. Look at how wonderful if are dependent upon study such as teaching, the Conqueror's teaching will remain in the world for a long time. So why you wish to, remind the Buddha teaching for a long time in the world? Why? Because I'm Buddhist. No. Because after you practice Dharma for few months or few years, you feel good. You feel it's really get benefit. It change your life. It give you a lot of positive, energy. You give a lot of positive attitudes. If everybody, I'm not saying everybody have to be Buddhist, okay? If everybody, follow the Buddha teaching, follow the advice of Buddha, everybody will become a wonderful person. Why we have a lot of problem in the society? Why we have a lot of problem, human problem in Singapore, Malaysia, all over the world? Why we have problems? All the problems we have because of human being. Not just human being, because of the misunderstanding, misperception, misbelief, misguidance. If people properly follow, the Buddha teaching, Buddha advice, all the misunderstanding, all the hatred, anger, totally going to disappear. If everybody follow, Buddha teaching in the world, everybody follow Buddha teaching for 1 hour. Just for one hour, you don't need to law. We don't need army, no need police, right? Everything become very peaceful. That's why, Buddha teaching. Another important, even though Buddha teaching remain in Singapore, Buddha teaching remains next to you in the temple. There's a master, there's a guru, there's a sangha, they have a teaching. If you don't attend this teaching, if you don't learn the teaching, then for you, doesn't get any benefit, right? That means, do you know how many types of Buddha teaching at the beginning is mentioned? 2 types, right? What are they? The actual teaching, the realized teaching. That means the teaching which is carry the meanings, the sound, the voice. Second, the meaning. the meaning. So, in order to remain the teaching in the world for a long time, first what you need to do? First you need to practice. Then you have experience. Then you can teach Dharma to others. Then Dharma will pass down this way. Right? Even though you print 1 billion copy of Lamrim distribute in all over Singapore, it doesn't get any benefit. So important, make sure the Dharma teaching, Buddha teaching remain in your mind for a long time, for many years, so many lifetime. Okay, we're not talking, the Buddha teaching remain in the market, in the street, remain with you in your mind. Then, how to explain the teaching which both teaching and the author are great? So this is quite easy. Now we just jump on to relying on the teacher. Okay, now everybody is, just assume. I assume everybody really think Dharma is very important. So can we learn Dharma without relying on master? Cannot. Even though when you read, you can understand that. You can understand something, but some people doesn't understand anything. Particularly, when you read Heart Sudara, Prajnana Paramita, you don't understand. So when you read the commentary on Heart Sudara, you can understand, you can have a better understanding, but you don't understand fully. So relying on the teacher is so important. Then look at in the heading, how to rely on the teacher, how the student train their mind after having relied on the teacher. Then number 1, right, there are 2 parts to explanation of how to rely on the teacher. This means somewhat elaborate explanation of the development of the knowledge of chapter 4, so you need to look this one. So before we rely on the teacher, again same, when you get sick, you're not going to see, you're not going to meet any doctors. You're going to see the doctor which has a knowledge, experience, right? Knowledge and experience. So it's so important. We must find the right teacher or right master who has all these qualities. The teacher is very famous. Okay, even though we have a many famous Rinpoche, who doesn't. Even though we have a many famous Rinpoche, they are very famous. Still, based on my observation, some Rinpoche is very famous, very popular, but they don't have any experience, any knowledge about Buddha Dharma. Just famous based on name. Okay, so we must try to get the right teacher who has all the good qualities. Now it's talking about the quality, right? So what kind of quality the teacher must have? 10 qualities, right? So can you tell me which sentence mentioned the 10 qualities? 71, right? Okay, Mahayana Sutra, Mahayana. Oh yeah. Please everybody, read the sentence. Mahayana teacher who is disciplined, serene, thoroughly peaceful.
Has good qualities surpassing those of the students, is energetic, has a wealth of spiritual knowledge, possesses loving concern, has thorough knowledge of reality, and skill in instructing disciples, and has abandoned disputedness.
Okay, this sentence is very important. Everybody memorize this sentence. Must remember all the 10 qualities. 10 qualities. The first, 5 qualities, mainly themselves. So, right? Themselves. First 6 is mainly for themselves. The last 4 is mainly for other. Okay, what does mean, who is disciplined, who is serene, thoroughly pacified? What does mean?
Receive the devotional vow and practice it.
Okay, look at the teacher, who be teacher for other. The teacher first must practice, 3 practices. Practices of ethical discipline, practice of mindfulness, practice of wisdom. First, discipline, right? Discipline means before he train other, the teacher must be disciplined. The teacher must practice the ethical disciplines. So there's 8 types of ethical disciplines. The number 2, serene, practice of mindfulness. Practice of mindfulness, right? Number 3, thoroughly pacified, is practice of wisdom. Then has a good quality, surpassing those of the student. Then yes, the teacher is practice morality, practice mindfulness, practice wisdom, but the teacher must need better education than the students, right? The next one of the student is energetic. Right? Energetic means Suli Julian Donya Wanyambo no Chao Jimenema. Shinyan Tuwa Jiwa Nyejawa Yonten Lakbarat Shinyan Tulwar Jiwa Yonten Labat Zunje. Energetic means we are not talking, the teacher must be very energetic, run everywhere. Like me, I walk everywhere. Energetic means that teacher always, focus on study and practice. Energetic. In Tibetan we say, Sulne Loden Donyara Shenyen Tulwa Jiwa Nyejawa Yonten Lakpar Zunje mean like always put effort to study Dharma, practice of Dharma. Energetic. The next one has a well of scripture knowledge. Lungi Chuba. That means, look at the teacher must practice 3 practices. The teacher must be very energetic about study and practice, should not be lazy, and the teacher must be very rich, the richness of spiritual knowledge. That means the teacher must have a proper knowledge of Dharma, very rich. It doesn't mean the teacher know only little bit, and the monk or the nun or the lay person know very little bit, but still they cannot be the teacher. They must have a vast and profound knowledge. Right? So related to this teaching, the knowledge, we have a very short little moment. We have a short time now. So the Buddha teaching, the Buddhism is look like, complete picture. Sometimes, one picture has a head, no hands. Some picture has a hands, no leg. So in order to have a complete picture, that picture must have a face and hands and legs. For you, if you really want to know the complete teaching of Buddha, complete knowledge of Buddhism, you must know, the Theravada traditions. You must know all the practice based on Theravada. Then this means you have a foundation to know Buddha Dharma. That means you have a leg. Without leg, you cannot move. Or you need at least you sit on the wheelchair, even though you cannot move much. That means the practice of Theravada is look like a leg. Without leg, you cannot move. Without Theravada practice, you cannot really practice, you cannot really go beyond the samsara, you cannot move leg. The practice of the Mahayana teaching is look like the heart. The person has a leg, the person's body is very healthy, the heart is not really compassionate. The person cannot be wonderful person in the society. The person must have a good heart. That means when you practice Theravada practices, then you must practice the great compassion, love. That means you have a heart. Yes, you have a physical body, healthy physical body, you have a legs, you have a good heart. Third, you must have a head. Among the all part of the bodies, among the parts of the body, which is more important? Heart, then face and brain. Then practice of Vajrayana is look like having a head. That means you have a good heart, but you are not daily intelligent. Then you cannot really reach to nirvana or Buddhahood, but you cannot understand the complete Buddha teaching. That means you must study Theravada teaching, must practice the Sutra Mahayana, then Vajra Mahayana. When you practice, when you have this kind of knowledge, then you have a complete picture of Buddha teaching. Then you can explain Buddha teaching for anybody. When you go Thailand, and you can teach Theravada teaching because you have experience. When you go to China or Tibet and Singapore, you can give a Mahayana teaching. When you go, when you teach the teaching for the advanced student, then you can have a Vajrayana. If you teach certainly only part of, then you cannot see the complete teaching. That means teacher who teach, complete Buddhism, they must have this kind of knowledge, wealth of scriptural knowledge. They possess loving concern. Then, yes, teacher practice three, practices, and also teacher have a good knowledge. If the teacher doesn't have a love, then what will happen? Then you cannot really get benefit from the teacher. This is a common problem in nowadays. Like a teacher or master has a knowledge, they has a name, they're like a Rinpoche or Geshe or Sifu, or you call in China like a His Holiness Farsi, right? Farsi. Look at somebody has a big name. They have a knowledge. They practice, three practices, but they don't have a love. They don't really have a sense of, concern other. Then what? Very easy to deceive the students. Students really believe, they follow, and the teacher know, and they fully believe me, I can control them. They will believe what I said. If the teacher is not compassionate, then the person cannot be your teacher. Okay? So today we stop here. Next, everybody, do homework until finish the quality of teachers, qualities of the students. Must remember all the numbers. So I explained how to increase your memory. Next time when you come back, everybody have a better memory. Okay, so thank you. So we do the dedication prayers.